I'm standing here in the college's newly renamed Give Back Scholars Library. Rowan College at Gloucester County recently became the first community college in the country to receive a historic gift from philanthropist, author, and entrepreneur Robert Carr and his nonprofit organization, Give Something Back. This $500,000 donation, the largest in the college's history, will provide a debt-free education to academically ambitious, lower-income students. Here's a look at some highlights from the announcement.
We are here today to celebrate. We are here to celebrate the generosity and the vision of Bob Carr. Give Back as an organization that's doing wonderful work around this country. And as I told Mr. Carr just now, I bought into his vision from the day I met him, read his book, tried to understand what his vision was at that time, and tried to find a spot for us here at Rowan College to work our way into the partnership of Give Back. And we have. Hubert Humphrey said the measure of government is kind of looked at with regard to how they serve the people, the young, the old, the elderly, the disabled. And he mentions an individual group called those in the shadows. And I think today somewhat reflects on that moment, because I think today, yes, is a recognition of generosity and vision of one man and now an organization that he directs. It's also recognizing the partnership of the two Rowans, the university and the college, of which I'm thrilled to be a part with Dr. Hushman. But it also, I believe, just quickly in my introductory comment, is more important to this idea of those in the shadow. That is the measure of not an institution in this case, but the measure of a person. And again, I was always taught that the measure of that person is how you will treat others in need. And I don't think you can find a better example than what Bob Carr has done to create this model of give back, to allow individuals to find a way to get the gift of higher education. And it is a tremendous, tremendous gift. We are now the first community college, a 2-year partner in the Give Back Network. We're thrilled. We want to push ahead and prove that this model, this type of institution, that we feel we're in a very unique position to allow young people to come here, because we can connect with them more aggressively in the middle school and the high school aspect of their life. And once we work with Give Back, First Star, others, Melissa and her staff, we can hopefully provide the support to get an individual to aspire and recognize that they can go to college and come here to do so.
Education isn't equally accessible to everyone, is it? Cost is a major factor. You know, there's a lot of issues facing our young men and women growing up today. But what they shouldn't have to worry about is their accessibility to college. And there's not a better place to talk about affordability than where we are today. Rowan College, in conjunction with Rowan University, what, as I would say, surrounded by two presidents, and what they're able to do, because they understand the neighborhood they live in. Those who attend here are not always coming from family of means who are able to afford this. Bob Carr, he wants to level that playing field by giving back.
Total amount of gift to both Rowan and Rowan College of Gloucester County is $1.5 million. So let's assume that we go ahead and recruit Pell-eligible students to this program. Kids from all walks of life, irrespective of their SAT, GPA, where they graduated, as long as they have a high school diploma and they get into this program. There is a whole degree program right now in this college that costs exactly $25,000. So if we were to do that, that $1.5 million divided by 3,125, that gives you 120 souls. So let's assume tomorrow I bring 120 kids. They get into this program. They don't have to pay a penny for 4 years. They get their degrees. And now let's assume these kids become productive taxpayers and they go and get employment, they get a job. Wouldn't that be the greatest investment that this state could make? And multiply this kind of gift and provide these kind of opportunities to so many kids in this country who can become great taxpayers rather than a burden to our society. That's the power of this gift. And it has so many multipliers, because those 120 kids later on, they become givers too. Not only do they become successful citizens, they go and buy a house, get married, have kids, send them to college. and at the same time they become productive citizens, and they will do the same by giving to the future generation. That's the power of giving.
I first met Bob Carr when he walked into a classroom at Rowan University to meet 30 foster youth, children who, through no fault of their own, faced instability over the course of their lives due to child abuse and neglect. Bob received a scholarship from the Lockport Women's Club when he was a senior in high school, a gesture that was so meaningful to him that he vowed on that day that if he ever achieved financial success, that he would give back to others in the same way. And on this day in July, when he entered the classroom, Bob had become one of the most successful business people in America. And there on that day, he followed through on a decades-old vow he made to himself and Mrs. Robert Drake, and he awarded all 30 young people with a college scholarship, a ladder of opportunity, and a chance to break the cycle of poverty and abuse. In fact, Bob Carr has funded more than $35 million in college scholarships in 7 states. Today, Rowan College at Gloucester County becomes the first community college in America to join the Give Back Network. And together, we will deliver on the promise of a college education for those who need it the most, and those we are counting on to be our inventors, our teachers, our doctors, and leaders of our community.
From the day I was born, I wasn't given a fair shot. I wasn't able to hear out of my left ear, nor had the ability to talk or be understood until the age of 5. I wasn't able to keep up with my peers cognitively. I was always one of the ones that were counted out. The supposed role models in my life often try to bring me down. The role models that we call our teachers, guidance counselors, and even coaches. I later had surgery on my left ear so that I can hear without using a hearing aid. I began speaking full sentences and started to articulate what others were expressing to me. I started to excel, not just academically, but in life. I started to challenge and set goals for myself. No one thought the kid who couldn't hear or talk would go on to travel, be prom king, or even model in a fashion show. And not only that, stand before you guys today. Now, I'm going to be the first in my family to go to college. This is my shot to represent countless young men and women that have faced hardships and challenges in their lives. I would like to thank my parents for pushing me to be great, the Rowan Choice Program for helping me proceed, and for this opportunity, I have to give something back.
We started off our scholarship program simply, I gave back to the Women's Club for this scholarship. And that was going to be it. But we had such a tremendous reaction to our program back in 2003 that we decided to continue it on. And a college education is worth it, but starting college and dropping out is a disaster. And that disaster has happened to 40 million Americans. We want to stop that as much as we possibly can. And we want to let young people know that there is hope. And so that's why we pick students in the 9th grade, and we want to pick them even earlier. Because you can get a 9th grader who doesn't think they have a chance to go to college and show the way that they can go to college. When we started this program, we picked 60 kids to fill 50 seats. All 60 of those kids that were in 9th grade 4 years ago are in college today. We didn't lose one kid. Our kids are successful, and these young people that are in our program now, they're not going to mess up our statistics, are you? And why RCGC and why Rowan? Well, these two gentlemen here are the reasons. We want for this part of New Jersey to be a role model that we can build upon throughout the country. And we think that this is going to be one of the centerpieces of our entire program.
This college is now, as the first community college in the network, in a very unique position. And again, as I said earlier, we're going to take it very seriously. The people that are here, many of whom work in the Rowan Choice Program, our financial aid, our student service division with counseling and advising, we're going to wrap our arms around these young people. And we're going to make sure that we do everything we can in our power to make this a successful experience. And we're optimistic and confident that we will. To my colleagues, friends, to Bob Carr, to give back to the students that are here today. Many of you who are now students at this college, I say welcome, Roadrunners. We're thrilled to have you here, and we're going to take good care of you, and we're going to send you on to Rowan University or other schools. But we'd like you to go to Rowan University, stay in the family, get a great education, and as everyone said, take that education and really move forward, and then you give something back.